to rule them all. In the end, there can only be one backpack.
Okay guys, welcome back to Our World Outdoors. I'm Tony, and today we're going to be taking a look at my new pack, which is a 3F UL Gear 35 to 45 liter X-Pac backpack. Now, this one is a little higher on the budget end for their stuff. This is one of their newest versions. They do have an older style that my wife has. I'll put the link to that video in the description that is much more budget friendly. But today we're going to address this one because this is what I'm going to be running. I still do use my Modace pack. I still do use my Teton Sports pack. This one is just because we're trying to lighten up but be able to carry more gear for our upcoming through hike of the Foothills Trail in South Carolina and North Carolina. So let's go over this real quick. The first thing we're going to discuss is the fabric. The X-Pac is a laminated fiber. I want to say first that when dealing with things from China, generally you're not going to have the same setup or quality of fabric as you will with some of our American companies. They find ways to make it more budget friendly, and I would not try to compare the quality of this fabric with the American fabric, but in the same breath it's nearly half, if not more, less than the American backpack that would match its quality. So you know, you got to take that with a grain of salt for what it is. Now, would I call this backpack waterproof? Not exactly. I'd say this is severely water resistant. I'm not comfortable calling it waterproof. Now, I also have to let you know that older versions of this exact same pack had holes where the belt went in. The newer version, especially if they're tagged as Flames Creed, do not have that issue anymore. It has been resolved. If you watch some of the older videos on this pack on YouTube, they'll point out where there's holes right where the belt goes in. This one does not have that issue. So let's move on. This is 35 to 45 liters. Later when you see me open the top, you'll know that it can carry quite a bit more than that. That is only the internal measurement. That is not counting the huge side packs, the mesh, because these side pouches are huge, literally. So, knowing all this, the basic X-Pac is just a laminate. Generally, when you're talking about it, it is a composite comprised of multiple layers of laminate into a single sheet. Kind of the standard of that would be a nylon face fabric, a polyester X-ply mesh, a waterproof film, and then a light taffeta backing with a water-resistant coating. I'm sure that this doesn't have that much of an integrated system on this, but it definitely is a variant of X-Pac. So I want to make it clear, it's not the same thing you're going to get from our cottage vendors in America, but the price also reflects that, and we need to be aware of that. So now that we got that out of the way, let's take a look at it here. And obviously you'll get a better look when I have it on my back, and Missy will run you through with the GoPro and kind of get you closer. But just as an initial overview, you've got your straps to tie on here. You got your paracord. You got your mesh, which if you look closely, it's a layered mesh. All right, means that can all expand out a lot if you just loosen the paracord. All right, you got an over-the-top strap. You can compress your loads. It has extremely deep pockets. All right, extremely deep. These are 1 liter bottles. I mean, it disappears in it, if that gives you any idea. So I carry those 1.5 liter smart water bottles in this, no problem. And this load strap, compression strap on the side would also work to either A, put poles in, or B, use the 1.5 liter bottle and then suck it back. Here's another part I really like. There's a piece of cordage and a lock, and you can tighten that up and pull it down and tighten it in. I love that. All right, as we come around here, seems that there's been a lot of questions about these. They do have load lifters, and they are reinforced on the inside. It's got the daisy chaining down it, so you can change your cross strap. All right, it does have your hook. Notice it says large. All right, what I want to say about that is check your torso length before you buy. They have 3 different sizes, whereas the older pack like my wife got just comes in 1 size. All right, this one has 3 different sizes for different torso lengths, and they also have a height. On the AliExpress, they'll tell you what the height compared to pack size could be. That gives you a kind of a second way to look at it with the torso measurement to know it's going to kind of fit up to you better. But they give you lots of adjustment room, so I could see no problems in trying to get this to fit you. Now, what you can't really see are these. It has pads, all right, a padded back. But inside, they come with 2 of these little air mats. It looks like a mini version of, a mini clear version of like a Thermarest bed pad. I mean, it just got ribs that you can put against your back. I don't see the need for it. I would say that if you have a sit pad you normally carry and you put that down inside there, or if you know how to pack your pack well and have items in there like putting your sleeping bag, your tent, and stacking all those round objects up your back, you're probably not going to have any issues, honestly, because it does have these padded rails that run all the way down and to the bottom down here. Now, when we go around, let me get you moved here. I know it's hard to see. We'll get you a better vision of it when we get it on. But you've got belt pads all on here. They're all padded up nicely, all the way to the backrest and connects all the way around. And then you have your hip belts. And they're actually really good size. They're not as big as the older version, but they're plenty big enough. All right, and then you can buckle your top to itself or down, whichever you want. The last thing I'm going to say is it's got a good wide hip belt, but the buckles, I'll show you. The buckles are this style, and I'm not such a fan, but after looking at them here, if I ever have to change these out, it will not be hard at all. They are, I mean, they're tough. All the buckles on this pouch are this style. And I think they'll be fine, and I know they did it for weight savings. But at worst, I may have to go to like a fabric store and buy new buckles and then just pop these off and sew them back on. It's nothing for me for the cost of what I'm doing here. It doesn't matter. But let me get this pulled on and we'll give you a better view of it on me. Just so you know, right now it has our tent, the Lanshan 2 in the bottom, and 2 sleeping bags stacked up inside of it. So it's not really loaded out, but it's got some in it just to give it some shape. Okay, we've come outside so we can take a little bit better look here at the backpack. Now, you'll see at the top, this claims to be only a 35 to 45 liter. I promise you can put more than that in it. I will say that it is not exactly very thick on the sides. Now, let's go through it all one by one. So, we're going to roll this up here and get it binded down. But, as you can see, these folds, when the paracord's loosened, this can spring out real far. And then you can also strap items to the outside. There's also 2 straps down here which make it nice for slinging on stuff to carry bottom side. Now, the sides, as you can see, my wife's rolled the top down and strapped it to the side mounts. But you can also strap it to itself side to side like a dry bag. These are your compression straps to tighten your load. And there's 2 of those, but it also works for holding trekking poles and water bottles in these deep side pockets. This is a 1 liter bottle. You can see how far that goes down in there. I could put 1.5 liter smart water bottles in there, no problem. All right, now as we come to the top, she's now set it up like a dry bag. All right, so you can do it that way, or you can change it back to the other way and run this strap over top, and it's got a top and bottom strap. Or you can turn this strap and this strap onto each other and then use them to strap something to the front or the back side, just like that. So let me get it turned over and we will take a look at the other side here. Okay, first thing I want you to see is these back pads. This is one of the major differences between my wife's version, which will be in the description below, and this version. Now, as you can see, this is a large. This one actually comes in 3 different sizes. So there's torso measurements and there's also height measurements on AliExpress and the ads for these to kind of give you an idea of what size you need. Here are your load levelers. All right. All you have to do is pull that and it'll pull the load up tighter to you. As you can see, there's daisy chaining all the way down for your sternum strap. As you can see, sternum strap, back up daisy chaining. You also have your D-rings that you can use for your water bottle holders or GPS or whatever you want to strap to it. In the center here, there's your hanging for your tree strap. This is your strap that goes over the top if you want to strap it down on the sides and then pack it over top, or if you want to strap something to the top of it. Let's work our way down here. As you can see how padded the belts are, and they connect to the back strap to make for one continuous run. And that way it gives you padding all the way around. And then when you bring them together here, I'm still not completely sure on this buckle, but it's easily replaced if I don't like it. But what they have changed is how these rings can change, loosen it, and tighten. So when it's on you, you can pull it this way to loosen, and then you just pull that way to tighten. It's nice and easy that way. Now in these hip belt pockets, they're pretty big. They're not as big as my wife's packs is, but they're plenty big enough. We actually have battery power banks inside there, which is equivalent to most phones. But you just need to keep some weight in them for a while and let them kind of smash down. It's kind of just one of those things you got to get used to. Now, something I didn't mention is these cords that you can pull to tighten the bottles in, or whatever you're carrying. If you've got trekking poles strapped up the side, they can sit behind here, and it just makes it for a nice fit, feel, and ride. So let me pull it on and kind of give you guys an idea what it looks like on me, and we'll go from there. Okay, here it is on. Sternum strap. Belt's carrying all the weight. I have our tent and 2 sleeping bags inside here, and I think a quilt. So there's a reasonable amount of weight in there, but let's just kind of do a quick look around how it sits and rides on me. Now, it should be stated that I'm not a little guy, so you're talking 250 pounds, 6'1". It's a pretty good sized pack on me. It fits well. I'm not carrying anything. The belt's carrying it all. I can pull my levelers down and pull it in more and put more weight to my shoulders if I want to, but there's really no reason to. So let's get this pulled off, get it put back down. We'll talk price, we'll talk weight, and we'll talk shipping times. Okay, so this thing's made of X-Pac, and I'm gonna say it's heavily water resistant. I don't want to say waterproof because people will freak out. This is not the same X-Pac you would get from cottage vendors in America. Let's just say that now. There's a reason why this thing is like 1/3 of the cost of any packs made of similar material that are sold here in the US. Okay? It just is what it is. Now, let's talk price. $129 for the large is what it costs. That's free shipping. That's to your door, done. Let's talk weight. 1.8 pounds. But if you ran around and cut off all this extra strapping that you're not really going to need, you can get it down to about 1.6, I'm being told. Some other things I still need to cover. This pack, the older version of it, had holes where the belt went into the main body of the pack. They have now fixed that problem. It does not have holes anymore. So if you've seen an older video of this pack and saw those holes and saw that as an issue, just like I did, they have resolved that. It also is sold under the Flames Creed name. So you can find it under 3FUL or Flames Creed. Now, after the video you've seen here, I think it's easy to say that this thing will hold way more than 45 liters if you want it to. It really can. And then pockets are amazingly deep on the sides. Inside, it has an air mattress as a frame that they send with you. If you want that to last, I suggest covering it with like a duct tape to reinforce it because it's just clear plastic air pad. I personally am going to use my folding foam seat as a pad. The same way my wife uses hers on the exterior as a frame pad. I don't know that I'll really need it, honestly, with the padding on the back of this pack. Now, this is not the same thing that you're going to get from some of these other cottage vendors when they build frameless packs. All right, and the price reflects that. That's why theirs cost $200, $300, $400, and this pack costs $129. Now, I will say that I am kind of jealous of my wife because I really like her pack. And her pack is half the money of mine. Once again, that video will be posted in the description if you want to go check it out. But now that this is here, I am completely happy with it. I feel that it fit my needs perfectly. And I think a lot of you are going to find that it'll fit your needs as well. The weight's right. The padding's right. And it's just set up right for what I want to do. It may not work for what you want to do. I don't carry a lot of extra fluids with me. I know some people carry internal frame packs because they like to be able to carry more weight. Or maybe you want to take a 6-pack of beer with you. Or whatever. It doesn't really matter to us. I'm just showing you where we're going. We're trying to go as light as possible, but still be comfortable. Our Moday's pack is only 1 pound, whereas this is 1.8. We love our Moday's pack, and we're still going to use them for like a day or 2 trips. But we had to buy new packs to go on our foothills trail this fall through hike. And this was just enough for what we needed to do. Okay, honey, so now you've seen my new pack and you've seen your new pack. What do you think?
I like both of them, but there's different features I like on each one.
I agree with that. I think that yours actually can carry more per se because your roll top's so much higher.
I think so too.
I think mine will carry nicer for heavier weights though.
I think I like my side pockets better on the belt.
Yeah, because they're deeper and bigger. That's always been one of your complaints.
But I like your actual side pockets on your pack better.
Oh yeah, because the actual water bottle holders?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are deeper and they do cinch down better.
And I like your mesh better.
Well, yeah.
You're going to get more in.
Going to get more in it, but that's fun because I get to carry the wet tent then. But anyways, as you can see, we both changed our gear to this. Neither one of us have any problems with our purchases. If you want to see my wife's pack, hit up the description, check out the link. But don't be afraid to use 3FUL Gears products. There's a whole community also on Facebook that's supportive of these products and will show you what they're doing with them. You'll see the tents in Scotland. You'll see, over in England, them using these packs. The whole world, they're using this gear. Don't be afraid of it just because it's a little cheaper. It does work, it does the job, and it does a good job. And we wouldn't be buying it, trying to go on a through hike with it if we didn't believe in it.
Right.
So, until next time, I'm Tony.
I'm Missy.
And it doesn't cost a lot to go backpacking. And it doesn't make you a better backpacker to have more expensive gear. Don't forget that. If you have to throw a Walmart $6 or $20 tent into a cheap little backpack, like you gotta steal your kid's school pack and go camping, then do it. No matter what gear you have, get outdoors, go have fun, and enjoy nature. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.